February 2013. A young woman enters an elevator at the infamous Cecil Hotel in downtown Los Angeles. She pushes multiple buttons. She hides, peeks, steps in and out erratically, and then vanishes. What you're watching now is the last known footage of 21-year-old Elisa Lam, alive. What followed was a case that shook the internet, baffled investigators, and sparked countless theories ranging from mental illness to something much darker. Elisa Lam was a Canadian student, traveling solo across the West Coast on what she called her West Coast tour. She documented her journey openly on Tumblr, sharing thoughts, poetry, and her struggles with mental health, including bipolar disorder and depression. On January 26th, she checked into the Cecil Hotel, a place with a history so dark it could be a horror story on its own. Originally staying in a shared room, Elisa was moved to a private one after her roommates complained about her odd behavior. On January 31st, Elisa was supposed to check out. She never did, and just like that, she was gone. Her parents, alarmed by the silence, contacted the LAPD. A missing persons report was filed. Posters went up, but there was no trace of her. Nearly 2 weeks later, the LAPD released security footage from one of the hotel elevators. It showed Elisa acting strange. She presses multiple buttons, stands in the corner, peeks out as if someone is following her, makes peculiar hand gestures, steps in and out of the elevator, which doesn't seem to close properly. The video, grainy and surreal, quickly went viral. It was eerie, unnerving. People couldn't stop watching it. The internet lit up with theories. Was she high? Was someone stalking her? Was it something paranormal? But despite millions of views, no new leads emerged. That is, until guests at the Cecil started to complain. Guests began noticing something strange with the hotel's water supply. The pressure was low. The water tasted odd, looked discolored, even black at times. A maintenance worker was sent to the rooftop water tanks. What he found shocked the world. Inside one of the tanks was Elisa Lam's naked body, decomposed and floating. Her clothes, the same ones from the video, were found at the bottom of the tank. Questions multiplied. How did she get to the roof, which was locked and alarmed? How did she access the tank, which was tall, heavy, and hard to climb into? And how did no one notice? The Cecil Hotel wasn't just any hotel. Since its opening in 1927, it had been the site of multiple suicides, murders, and unexplained deaths. Serial killer Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, reportedly stayed there during his killing spree. So did Jack Unterweger, another murderer. Guests had jumped from windows, died in rooms, disappeared. The building itself seemed soaked in tragedy. Some began to wonder, could the hotel's past have something to do with Elisa's fate? When the coroner's report was finally released, it stated Elisa's cause of death was accidental drowning, with no evidence of foul play or drug use. Only traces of her prescribed medications were found in her system. But many weren't convinced. Why were her clothes off? Why was there no evidence of how she got into the tank? Could she have suffered a manic episode due to her bipolar disorder? Skipped her meds? Was she chased by someone we never saw? Or was it something else, something the autopsy couldn't explain? As the mystery spread, so did speculation. Online forums erupted. Amateur sleuths dug into the hotel's history, scrutinized every frame of the elevator video. Some noticed the timestamp was edited. Others swore they saw a shadow, a figure, just out of frame. Conspiracy theories emerged. Was she possessed? Was she part of a government experiment? Was it the work of a ghost or a serial killer? A band who had once stayed at the Cecil was falsely accused. Internet mobs hounded them. Their lives were affected, based on nothing but eerie vibes and edited footage. The internet was hungry for answers, but the truth remained elusive. As more details came to light, some experts suggested that Elisa was suffering from a severe bipolar episode. The autopsy showed she had taken some, but not all, of her prescribed medications. Her behavior in the elevator, her social media posts, even her sudden shift from shared rooms to solo isolation, all seemed to fit the pattern of a manic or psychotic break. But even if that was the case, how did she physically get into the water tank? Did she believe she was in danger? Was it an impulsive act? Or something more symbolic? Elisa's family filed a wrongful death suit against the hotel, arguing that it should have better secured the water tanks and rooftop. But the court ruled that there was no way the hotel could have foreseen this incident. Eventually, the case was considered closed. Accidental death. No foul play. But for many, the answers still don't add up. Why didn't the elevator behave normally? Why was the footage edited? Why did her story resonate so deeply with so many? Years later, Netflix released a documentary, Crime Scene: The Vanishing at the Cecil Hotel. It reignited the obsession, but also criticized the internet's role in spreading misinformation and damaging lives. The documentary also shed light on how deeply flawed the real-world investigation may have been, and how quickly trauma becomes entertainment in the digital age. To this day, the Cecil Hotel is being renovated and rebranded, but its reputation is hard to shake. Elisa Lam wanted to see the world, to document her journey, to understand herself. Instead, she became part of one of the internet's most enduring mysteries. Was it simply mental illness, or did the Cecil Hotel claim yet another soul? In a world full of cold facts and hard science, some questions still haunt us, and some stories never feel truly finished.